Hello and welcome. Notice the fins. If you actually slow it down, this rotor actually has fins for air cooling, which is pretty cool. Dimensions are pretty nice. The Gauss, I was surprised, is actually lower than a previous rotor with the same part number that I tested. That was the original one I tested with the same part number, as you'll see later on with the data table, was off of a Hobbywing 13.5, and the Gauss difference was about 100 more Gauss, which is fascinating. I thought the G4 was also rotor approved. I could be wrong. I don't have any G4s on the bench at the time for me to check. But if you know, you can go ahead and put it in the comments. But this one came in just under 1600 for the Gauss, which surprised me. But it does have slightly more RPM. This is the 21.5 G4R compared to the G4, but the G4 does have a stronger magnet, more Gauss, which is to be expected. Assuming everything else is the same, that's probably the only difference. I wouldn't be surprised if the can, everything was exactly the same, just different branding, different rotor, and called it good. But here we go to the data table to look at some numbers. So I'm going to start with resistance. Resistance, everything here is, quite normal. So we have 30.1, 29.9, so it's about 30. Now these numbers here are interesting because I have 49, 49, 48 based on the device that I was using. Maybe I don't know how to use it. Hobbywing had the sticker, so if you caught it on the other videos, if you slowed it down, there was a sticker on the box. I think I showed it, maybe not. And it read in the low 50s. So there's a little difference there. But given that I'm using the same device for the other ones here, if we compare it to the Trinity slot machine, A to B, B to C, so A to B, B to C, C to A, these are about the same. It's just when I'm reading to the front that it changes, and there's a big difference there. So interesting. And this would be the team powers. So this one, higher resistance there, actually all throughout for the 21.5. Now, as far as Gauss, this is something that I found surprising, because this is the rotor that we have, and if we look at the number, this one versus this one, it's the same number, but the Gauss difference is massive. That's, say, 100 Gauss difference. So this rotor does have a lot less power. One thing that I did like about it, though, is the front. Instead of it just being an aluminum ring, it has the little fins for cooling, so it cools from the inside, which is really neat. So even though it is lower Gauss, I'm thinking this one can probably handle more amperage. One would have to probably just get the torque from gearing, which is fine, not a big deal. But now if we compare it to, let's look at the 21.5s. So G4R, here we go. And I have a 4 amp and a 4 amp. So this is the G4 21.5. And I am expecting higher KVs just because it's a weaker rotor on the G4R. Let's see, how much more? Let me just go back. And G4, here we go. Yeah, just over 100 Gauss. This is 1708. So I am expecting more KV out of this one. And here, let's see. So again, 4. So we definitely have more RPM. Voltage, 7.6 versus 7.5 on this test. And I know many individuals have told me that for all my tests, I want to keep the same voltage to keep it the same. And I keep using a battery. Usually I try to get close to 8 volts. The only reason why I don't really have a set voltage for everything is because I've always assumed KV is a constant, and a constant that varies on voltage doesn't seem much of a constant. So that's the reason why I don't worry about it too much. But let's see. So if we look at the timing, we're looking at 47 versus 46. So pretty close. The spread, 49, 46, 46 versus 47, 45, 45 on the old model. The KV, there is a KV difference. It's less than 100. We're looking at Let's see, how much? 70, actually 74. So 74 kV. So the RPM, to put into perspective as far as RPM, we are looking at a difference of just over 300 RPM. So 308 RPM. 19,695 on the regular G4 versus 20,003 on the G4R. So you do get more RPM. You are going to have to play with the gearing for torque, but the G4R, I'd probably use this one on asphalt. I would probably use the G4 on carpet, just because of the Gauss difference. But it's up to you. Whatever you use the motors for, whatever you need them for. But I do think the way the rotor is constructed on this G4R with the cooling is very, very good. Now, I'm curious because it's happened before with a different brand, although I had a totally different rotor whose dimensions were totally off. But I'm wondering if this rotor, if this is a one-off. But I would have to buy another Hobbywing 21.5 to see if the Gauss was also this low or not. Then again, this one is Rotor approved. I thought the G4 was as well. I could be wrong. If you know, go ahead and put it in the comments. But if they're both Rotor approved, this one definitely has a stronger rotor than this one. And the part numbers are different for the rotors. This one is, here, let me go right over here. So this is an HUSB rotor versus the other one has an HUSS rotor. So those are some of the things to consider. This being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative, or at least entertaining. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.